Hello, fellow explorers and wildlife enthusiasts. Welcome back to TVP Wildlife, your favorite destination for diving deep into the thrilling and untamed corners of the natural world. From the heart of the savanna to the darkest jungles and the driest deserts, we bring you closer than ever to the animals that rule the wild. Today, we embark on a bone-chilling yet fascinating journey as we uncover the top 5 most dangerous land animals. These creatures may look majestic, mysterious, or even calm from a distance, but don't be fooled. Beneath their natural beauty lies incredible power, killer instincts, and in many cases, a body count that would terrify even the boldest adventurers. This isn't just about sharp claws or venomous bites. It's about understanding what truly makes an animal dangerous: aggression, unpredictability, raw strength, and their history of deadly encounters with humans and other animals alike. So buckle up and stay alert, because what you're about to discover might just change the way you look at the animal kingdom. Let's begin our countdown with one of Africa's most feared beasts. Not a lion, not a crocodile, but something even more deceptively deadly. Top 1. The African buffalo, the silent calurth beast in the bush deep within the sun-scorched plains and tall grasses of sub-Saharan Africa lurks a creature few would suspect to be a top-tier killer. With its sturdy frame, large curved horns, and slow, grazing nature, the African buffalo might seem like just another large herbivore. But make no mistake, this is not a docile cow. This is a cold-blooded killer known locally as the Black Death. Each year, African buffaloes are responsible for hundreds of deaths across the continent. Hunters fear it more than lions, rangers keep their distance, and villagers whisper about its unpredictable wrath. Why? Because unlike many predators who attack for food or defense, the African buffalo can charge without warning, without provocation, and without mercy. Profile of a killer. Let's break down the stats of this heavy hitter. Scientific name: Sinceris Kaffir. Average weight: up to 1,500 pounds. 680 gg. Top speed: 35 miles per hour. 56 km per hour. Horns: up to 5 feet across. Used for deadly head-on charges. Temperament: unpredictable, aggressive when wounded or threatened. Unlike big cats or pack predators, buffaloes don't rely on stealth. Their power is in their sheer strength, determination, and herd loyalty. And when they strike with terrifying force, intelligence, and revenge. One of the African buffalo's most terrifying traits is its memory. Tales from experienced hunters and safari guides speak of buffaloes that have been wounded only to circle back around and ambush their attackers hours or even days later. There are even reports of buffaloes stalking campsites, waiting silently in the night, then launching a deadly charge at the first sign of movement. This level of calculated aggression is nearly unheard of in herbivores. When cornered, the buffalo doesn't panic, it fights. When wounded, it doesn't flee, it seeks vengeance. How it kills. The African buffalo's primary weapon is its horned skull, often described as nature's battering ram. A full speed charge from one of these animals can crush bones, flip vehicles, and kill humans instantly. If a threat is spotted, the buffalo lowers its head, aligns its body, and barrels forward with immense momentum. Sometimes it gores the victim, other times, it simply tramples over and over until there's nothing left but silence. And unlike some animals who stop once a threat retreats, the African buffalo may continue the attack until the enemy is completely motionless. Victims of the wild. According to statistics from wildlife services across Africa, African buffaloes kill more hunters and game wardens than any other land animal on the continent, even more than lions or elephants. In fact, in some regions of Tanzania and Mozambique, buffalo-related deaths account for nearly half of all wildlife fatalities reported among park rangers. Imagine walking through the thick bush on patrol. The air is quiet, your boots crunch dry leaves, and then suddenly, a 1,200-pound shadow erupts from the undergrowth, giving you less than 2 seconds to react. That's the reality these men and women face. Not always buffaloes often travel in herds, sometimes numbering over 1,000 individuals. If one buffalo is attacked, Others may charge in to protect their own, turning a simple hunt into a battlefield. There are chilling reports of entire herds turning back to avenge a fallen calf or wounded member, even against large predators like lions. This herd mentality makes them even more dangerous. You're not just facing one angry buffalo, you're possibly facing a dozen or 100 depending on the moment. What makes them so dangerous? Let's summarize the key factors that make the African buffalo one of the top 5 most dangerous land animals. Unpredictable aggression, they can go from calm to violent in an instant. Incredible strength, their bulk and horns make them lethal at close range. Lack of warning signs, no growling, no posturing, just sudden death. Revenge behavior, they remember threats and may return to finish the job. Protective herd instinct, others will join in the attack if provoked. Cultural legends and fear, in many African cultures, the buffalo is respected and feared. Tribes have songs, stories, and even dances about this creature. Some call it a spirit of vengeance. Others say it embodies the strength of the ancestors. In hunter folklore, it's said that if you lock eyes with a charging buffalo, it means your soul is already gone. It has become a symbol of raw, untamed nature, a reminder that not all threats come with sharp teeth and venom. Final thoughts. Never underestimate of all the animals on our list, the African buffalo may be the most misunderstood. It doesn't stalk its prey. It doesn't hunt. It grazes peacefully until something goes wrong. But that's exactly what makes it so terrifying. Its dual nature, calm yet explosive, still yet deadly, is what earns it a rightful place among the top 5 most dangerous land animals. Up next, we're heading into even more dangerous territory. The next animal is much smaller, but packs a lethal dose of venom in just one bite. Can you guess what it is? Stay tuned. Top 2. The inland taipan. Death in a drop will come back. Fearless adventurers of TVP Wildlife. After facing the raw fury of the African buffalo, we now head into entirely different, but no less deadly territory. Forget brute strength. Forget charging horns. The danger you're about to meet is stealthier, quieter, and infinitely more toxic. This is a creature so lethal that a single drop of its venom can kill more than 100 adult humans. It's rarely seen, seldom attacks unprovoked, but when it does you won't have much time left. Meet the inland taipan, also known as the fierce snake. Though not the most famous reptile in the world, it holds a terrifying record. The most venomous snake on the planet. The invisible assassin. If you were walking through the dry, cracked soils of Central Australia, somewhere in the endless desert scrublands, you'd likely pass right by this snake and never know it. The inland taipan is incredibly reclusive. It doesn't hiss. It doesn't rattle. It simply waits, strikes, and vanishes. Its stealth, combined with its venom, makes it nature's ultimate assassin. Snake stats. Scientific name: Oxyurinus microlepidotus. Length: around 6 to 8 feet. 2 to 2.5 meters. Venom potency: the most toxic of any land snake, 50x more toxic than a cobra. Habitat: arid regions of Queensland and South Australia. Temperament: shy, avoids confrontation, but strikes with devastating speed when threatened. Venom so deadly. Time is your enemy. What makes the inland taipan so horrifying isn't just its venom, it's how quickly that venom works. Its bite delivers a potent cocktail of neurotoxins, hemotoxins, procoagulants, and myotoxins. In simpler terms, it attacks your brain, blood, muscles, and central nervous system all at once. Without immediate treatment, symptoms escalate within 30 to 45 minutes. Muscle paralysis, breathing failure, internal bleeding, organ collapse. Dead hand. Get this: the inland taipan can strike multiple times in under a second, injecting venom with every bite. It doesn't bite once and slither away. It ensures the threat is neutralized instantly. Nature's efficiency machinery. Is its venom so powerful? After all, the inland taipan preys mostly on small mammals like rats and mice. Why would it need venom that could kill dozens of humans? The answer lies in efficiency. The snake evolved to live in harsh, remote environments where prey is scarce. It can't afford long chases or missed kills. So instead, it strikes with lightning speed and delivers absolute death. Its prey rarely takes more than a few steps before collapsing. This ensures the inland taipan doesn't have to waste energy tracking down a wounded animal. It simply strikes, waits a few moments, and swallows. Rare, but real encounter shears. The good news: the inland taipan is so reclusive that it's almost never seen by humans in the wild. Bites are extremely rare. In fact, there are no known fatalities on record from this snake in the wild. However, that doesn't mean the danger isn't real. Herpetologists, snake handlers, and reptile researchers who work with inland taipans in captivity must exercise extreme caution every single day. A single slip, a momentary distraction, and they could be gone in minutes. In fact, there are documented cases of expert handlers being bitten and requiring up to 12 vials of antivenom to survive. Even then, recovery was slow and excruciating. Why? It's still one of the most dangerous, but wait, you might ask, if no one dies from it, why is it on this list? Excellent question. Let's break it down. Lethal potential: it has the deadliest venom of any land animal. Full stop. Strike speed: it can strike multiple times in under a second. High venom yield: one bite delivers more venom than needed to kill 100 people. Silent and stealthy: you won't see or hear it coming. Limited antivenom access: in remote areas of Australia, you may not survive long enough to reach help. While it's true that the inland taipan doesn't want to hurt humans, it still earns its place among the most dangerous animals, because if it did, the result would be catastrophic. Imagine a world where the snake was aggressive like a cobra, or lived near cities like rattlesnakes do. The consequences would be unimaginable. Cultural, myth, or real-life legend. Interestingly, the inland taipan doesn't feature much in Aboriginal folklore or historical records. That's likely because so few people ever saw it. In fact, the snake was only scientifically described in 1879, and its deadly venom wasn't fully understood until much later. Some say it's like Australia's ghost snake, hidden in plain sight, known only to the land itself. Herpetologists refer to it with the strange mix of fear and reverence. Among professionals, working with the inland taipan is considered the final test of snake handling skill. It's a beast you never, ever underestimate. What happens if you're bitten? Let's say, just hypothetically, you're out hiking in remote Central Australia, and an inland taipan mistakes your movement as a threat. Here's what could happen. 0-5 minutes. A burning pain spreads quickly from the bite site. 5-15 minutes. You feel lightheaded, weak, and nauseous. 15-30 minutes. Paralysis begins. Your breathing slows. Confusion sets in. 30-60 minutes. Organ failure, unconsciousness, and possible death if you don't receive antivenom in time. Survival is almost impossible. How do you survive? Your only real shot is immediate pressure bandage and immobilization of the limb. Call for emergency help immediately. Keep calm to slow venom spread. Antivenom injection ASAP, preferably within the first hour. Fortunately, Australia has some of the world's best snake bite response protocols, and most people who are bitten by venomous snakes do survive, thanks to education and access to treatment. Top 3. The grizzly bear, guardian of the north. Welcome back, fellow wildlife warriors. You're watching TVP Wildlife, where we track the world's most powerful and perilous creatures, and today's animal is a legend of the northern wilderness. He's big, he's fast, he's armed with claws longer than a man's fingers, and despite his cuddly teddy bear reputation in pop culture, in real life, he can tear you to pieces before you even realize you're being hunted. This is the grizzly bear, North America's apex predator, a symbol of power, fear, and raw wild nature. A living legend of the wild, grizzly bears are often romanticized as noble kings of the forest, but to those who face them in the wild, there's something far more terrifying, an unpredictable force of nature. They're not the most venomous, not the fastest, but their mix of size, speed, strength, intelligence, and above all, unpredictability, makes them one of the most dangerous land animals on Earth. Grizzly bear profile. Scientific name: Ursus arctos horribilis. Height: up to 3 meters 10 feet when standing on hind legs. Weight: 270,680 kg. 6001. 500 lbs bite force, over 1,200. Psi top speed, 56 km per hour 35 mph. Claws, up to 10 centimeters 4 inches. Long home range, Canada, Alaska, and the northwestern United States. These statistics don't just paint a picture of a large animal, they describe a killing machine built by evolution to dominate its environment, born to kill and survive. Grizzlies are omnivores, meaning they eat both plants and animals. Their diet includes berries, roots, insects, fish, and mammals. But when meat is on the menu, they transform into apex predators. They've been observed taking down full-grown moose, chasing elk through forests, and even driving wolves away from their kills. Their sense of smell is so powerful that they can detect food or prey from more than 20 miles away. When you combine that with their explosive strength and sudden aggression, you get a predator that even other predators avoid. Why are grizzlies so dangerous to humans? It's not just size or claws. The grizzly bear's danger lies in its behavior. Territorial and protective grizzlies, especially mothers with cubs, will attack anything that enters their space: hikers, campers, even other bears. Surprise encounters: most attacks happen because people accidentally surprise a bear. When startled, grizzlies often charge without hesitation. Incredible speed: they may look lumbering, but grizzlies can run faster than a racehorse in short bursts. You can't outrun them. Resilience to injury: shooting a grizzly won't always stop it. There are documented cases of wounded bears continuing to fight and killing their attacker before collapsing. Unpredictable temperament: a grizzly may seem calm one moment and deadly the next. There's no consistent warning, just feral instinct. Famous grizzly attacks: let's look at some real-life examples. Timothy Treadwell, a bear enthusiast, was famously killed along with his girlfriend by a grizzly he believed he had bonded with. His story was told in the documentary Grizzly Man. In Yellowstone and Glacier National Parks, there are multiple documented fatalities each decade, often involving campers or solo hikers. In Canada, a hunter once shot a bear at close range. The bear still managed to maul him severely before dying of its wounds. These stories are not rare. Across North America, grizzlies are involved in dozens of violent encounters with humans every year, many resulting in fatal or life-changing injuries. How a grizzly kills: grizzlies don't hunt humans, but if they choose to attack, the results are horrifying. Claw strikes can break bones, crush skulls, and disembowel in a single swipe. Bite attacks target the neck, head, or spine. Victims are often buried alive by bears that want to save a kill for later. Some survivors of bear attacks describe being dragged, rolled, and partially buried, only to be rescued hours later. The mental trauma is as real as the physical scars. What to do in a grizzly encounter? Here's what the experts say. If you see a grizzly from a distance, stay calm, don't run, slowly back away while speaking softly, avoid direct eye contact, make yourself appear bigger if the bear approaches. If the bear charges, do not run. If it's a bluff charge, most are. Stand your ground. If it's a real charge and contact is made, play deadlier, face down, protect your neck, spread your legs so you're harder to flip, stay still until you're absolutely sure the bear is gone. Bear spray can be effective, but you have only seconds to use it, and wind conditions matter. Firearms are a last resort and often escalate aggression unless used perfectly. Respect earned through fear. Among indigenous cultures of North America, the grizzly is both feared and revered. Some tribes called it the mountain warrior, others believed it was a spirit of vengeance or wisdom. Even today, hunters and wilderness guides often carry good luck charms or rituals before entering bear country, not because of superstition, but out of deep respect for what these animals are capable of. Top 4. Lion, the king of the kill. Welcome back to TVP Wildlife, the home of untamed nature and thrilling discoveries. So far, we've survived the fury of the African buffalo, faced the deadliest venom of the inland taipan, and narrowly escaped the wrath of the African elephant. But now, we're entering a whole different realm, one ruled not by stealth or surprise, but by power, pride, and precision. Today, we meet the legend himself, the lion, the king of beasts. the undisputed apex predator of Africa's savanna. You might think you know lions, you've seen them in documentaries, cartoons, logos, perhaps even on safari. But let me tell you, nothing, and I mean nothing, prepares you for what a lion is really capable of when it turns deadly. This is not just a king, this is a killer. The myth and majesty of the leon, the lion, is more than a predator, it's a symbol. From flags to family crests, from ancient sculptures to modern sports teams, the lion represents courage, strength, dominance, and leadership. But behind the regal mane and iconic roar lies something much more primal, something that strikes fear. In everything from gazelles to humans, lions aren't just noble hunters, they're cold, calculating, and ruthlessly efficient. Where lions leons once roamed from southern Europe to the Indian subcontinent, today, they're primarily found in sub-Saharan Africa, with a small endangered population in India's Gir forest. They rule open woodlands, scrubland, and savanna, vast spaces where visibility is high, escape is difficult, and only the toughest survive. Here, lions are not at the top of the food chain because of sheer strength alone. They're at the top because they're smart, social, and savage. Anatomy of a killer. Let's break down why the lion is one of the most dangerous land animals on the planet. Weight: up to 250 kilograms, 550 lbs for males. Top speed: 80 kilometers per hour, 50 mph in short bursts. Canine teeth: up to 10 centimeters, 4 inches long. Bite force: around 650 psi. Night vision: 6 times better than humans. Claws: retractable and razor-sharp. Teamwork: coordinated hunts with strategy. Picture this beast not as a distant silhouette in the grass, but coming at you, full speed, from the shadows, with its golden eyes locked onto your throat. How lions kill. Lions don't kill cleanly. They suffocate, they crush, they tear. Here's how a typical hunt goes. Stalk: lionesses, the main hunters, creep low in tall grass, using wind and terrain to get within 30 meters. Ambush: at the signal, they explode into motion, targeting the weakest or slowest prey. Attack: one lion latches onto the muzzle or throat, while others take down the legs. Kill: they clamp their jaws around the windpipe, holding tight until the prey suffocates, a process that can take several brutal minutes. What's even more terrifying, sometimes they hunt just to kill. Lions have been known to slaughter entire herds of livestock, not for hunger, but for dominance, intelligence, and tactics. Lions are social cats, living in prides of up to 30 individuals. This social structure gives them a massive evolutionary edge. They communicate through roars, body language, and scent, working together with uncanny precision. Flankers drive prey toward hidden ambushers. Males don't usually hunt, but when they do, it's devastating. Their size alone can knock down a buffalo. They'll even scout waterholes where prey must drink, waiting for hours in the heat, motionless. These are not just instinct-driven animals. They are strategists. When lions turn on human, shears where things get truly terrifying. Lions generally don't see humans as prey until they do. Over the last century, there have been hundreds of documented lion attacks on humans. Most occur in rural Africa. Top 5. Tiger, the silent execution. Welcome back to TVP Wildlife, where nature's fiercest predators come to life. We've encountered the brute force of the buffalo, the venom of the inland taipan, the rage of the elephant, and the regal ferocity of the lion. But now, we step into the shadows. This final chapter belongs not to a king, but to an assassin, a creature of silence, stealth, and single-minded lethality. A hunter that doesn't just kill, it vanishes, leaving nothing but blood and fear behind. We give you the tiger, the largest, most elusive, and arguably the most terrifying big cat on earth. Let's walk carefully, because the tiger hears you. It smells you, and if it chooses, it will kill you, without a sound. Where the shadows roam, tigers once ruled across Asia, from Turkey to the Russian Far East. down to Indonesia. Now, they're fragmented, with major populations in India. Bengal tiger, the largest population. In the wild Russia. Siberian tiger, the biggest in size. Sumatran tiger, critically endangered. Indochina and China. Heavily poached. Bangladesh and Nepal, in mangrove forests and mountainous terrain. Wherever they live, they own the terrain, forest, grassland, swamp, or jungle. It doesn't matter. If a tiger calls it home, you are the intruder. Designed to kill its break down. This apex predator weighs up to 320 kilograms, 700 lbs length, over 3 meters 10 feet including tailbite force, up to 1050 size, strong enough to crush bone. Canines, over 3 inches long. Paw swipe force, can shatter a skull. Stealth, silent footsteps, camouflage coat. Swimming ability, can swim several kilometers. Even hunts in water. Like lions, tigers are solitary. They don't rely on pride tactics. They stalk alone, hunt alone, and kill alone. That makes them more unpredictable, more dangerous, and much harder to stop. How a tiger hunts. Tigers are masters of patience. They don't chase, they wait. Here's the classic tiger kill pattern. Stalk. The tiger moves like smoke, low, slow, silent. Its stripes blend perfectly with shadows and foliage. Approach. It closes the gap to 20-30 feet. If spotted early, it aborts. Charge. It springs in absolute silence, claws out, jaws open. Kill. A bite to the neck or nape, severing the spinal cord or crushing the windpipe. The victim often dies without even making a sound. The perfect ambushette makes the tiger so deadly is ambush perfection. It uses terrain, timing, and total stillness to its advantage. It can wait hours for the perfect moment. It moves against the wind to avoid detection. It attacks from behind or the side, never head on. It doesn't roar, it strikes in silence. A tiger doesn't fight fair. It fights to end you quickly and efficiently. Tigers that hunt humans. Most big cats avoid humans, but some tigers don't. These become man-eaters, often due to injury or old age, enabled to catch faster prey. Loss of territory, forced into human villages. Habitat destruction, no more deer, wild boar, or buffalo poaching. Pressure disrupting natural behavior, and when a tiger gets a taste for human flesh, it may never stop. The Champawat tigress, the deadliest animal in human history. Let's travel back to early 1900s. Nepal and India. One tigress, wounded by a hunter's bullet, had broken canines and couldn't kill her usual prey. So she turned to humans. Over the next few years, she killed an estimated 436 people. Villagers were terrified. People abandoned homes. Entire towns shut down at night. The British colonial government had to send in Jim Corbett, a famed hunter. After a dangerous and calculated pursuit, he shot the tigress, but not before she claimed hundreds of lives. To this day, the Champawat tigress holds the record for the most human kills by a single predator. When tigers attack today, modern attacks still happen, often in places like Sundarbans, mangrove forest, India, and Bangladesh. Rural villages in India, Nepal. Illegal logging or poaching zones. Tiger reserves lacking proper fence. Attacks usually occur at dawn or dusk, when visibility is low and villagers head to fields or forests. Some tragic facts: between 2016 and 2021, over 200 tiger attacks on humans were recorded in India alone. As we bring this thrilling journey to an end, let's take a moment to look back at the fearsome 5, the top 5 most dangerous land animals, creatures that roam the earth, not just with power, but with purpose. We've seen the African buffalo, unpredictable and relentless. This beast of the savannah has no fear of man or machine. It charges, it tramples, and it never backs down. The inland taipan, a silent assassin hiding beneath the sand. The world's most venomous snake, whose bite is a countdown to death. The bear, a mountain of muscle cloaked in fur. Whether it's a grizzly or a polar bear, it combines brute strength with primal aggression, a force of nature no one wants to challenge. The lion, the ruler of the African plains, royal, ruthless, and always watching. A single roar sends tremors across the ecosystem. The tiger, nature's ultimate solo killer, swift, stealthy, and shockingly precise. The jungle is its stage, and every step could be your last. Each of these animals is a master of its domain, not because they want to kill, but because they must survive. They are not evil. They are not cruel. They are the raw embodiment of nature's rules, where weakness is punished, and strength reigns supreme. But let us not forget these killers are also victims. Their habitats are shrinking. Their populations are dwindling. And many are now more threatened by us than we are by them. So, what have we really learned? That the most dangerous land animals are not just beasts of terror. They are symbols of a wild world that's slowly slipping away. If we want to keep the wild alive, we must protect it, even from ourselves. Thank you for joining us on this heart-pounding adventure here on TVP Wildlife. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We've got even more dangerous, beautiful, and mysterious creatures to explore. Until next time, stay curious, stay respectful, and always remember, in the wild, danger walks on four legs, and sometimes, it slithers.